You're listening to After the Review.
After the review.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is After Review. I'm your host, Peter. Joining us this week is Matt. Matt, what is up, my dog?
Nothing much, Pete. How's it going with you, brother?
Dude, it's going good. We're here. We got Super Sunday rolling around. I know a lot of us didn't think we'd make it here. We're here. Lots of stuff going on. So let's just dive headfirst into it. We got 50-50. If you put us together, we had the Super Bowl. You know?
We did.
So
not too bad for a bunch of amateurs.
Scrubs, I'm really regretting me taking Baltimore over KC in the AFC Championship game because I could have had this damn game. I was right there. I smelt it. I could taste this, just in, my foresight. I had my third eye opened on the top of my head, and I just knew what was coming. But let's go right into it. What are you expecting on Sunday?
Man, that's a good question because it feels like it's going to be a close game. But I feel like if Kansas City kind of turns it on, like they did towards the end of the Buffalo game, like it could be a blowout. My only caveat to that is the Chiefs are missing both of their tackles, and that's huge. Bucks have a good pass rush. And then you can also flip the coin and say, the Bucks don't have their two safeties, right?
They're both going to play. Winfield's going to play. I don't know about Whitehead.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, it's kind of going to be, can the backup tackle stand up to that pass rush, and can injured Antoine Winfield and whoever's the safety on the other side, can they stand up to the wide receiving core for the Chiefs? I think that's what it comes down to. What do you think?
Well, it's interesting because they played in the regular season, obviously, and Tyreek Hill had the greatest quarter any wide receivers had since ever. He had 200 plus yards in the first quarter, but it was still a 3-point game when it was all said and done. I kind of feel the same way. It feels like the Chiefs are the better team. I mean, but goddamn, you got 12 sitting over there at home in Tampa. Tom Brady's a crazy man. I heard an interview with him this week where his family's been on vacation for 6 days, so he's got his house to his freaking self, and he's just been crazy. and they're not coming back till Saturday, and he's just been living alone, just watching film, doing stuff. Now that is goddamn frightening that this man said, "Yeah, sorry, honey, leave,
get out."
Yeah, he has a crazy massive mansion. It's like, well, we'll hang out in the right wing over there. No. But what about you? Won't even see it now. I need it. I need it to myself. So that's devastatingly frightening. Good matchup though for the Chiefs. Just Spagnuolo on defense. He was the D coordinator for those Giants teams that kind of tore Tom Brady up in the Super Bowl.
Right.
So that's a good look. Again, I do think Pat Mahomes was going to be running for his life because he was the O-line already isn't that good. And that pass rush is really feeling it. Nobody's really talking about Vita Vea coming back last week against Green Bay.
Huge.
Yeah, and he was a monster up the middle, takes away any sort of run game and gets some pressure up the middle, let those, ends or linebackers run free. So he's going to be fully healthy, not on a snap count, I'm sure, with 2 weeks off. So that's big. I would like Whitehead to be back in the back end because the safeties are the only good part of Tampa's defense. Their corners are probably the weakest part, so that is an issue. We could get a high-scoring game here, but, I really hate betting against Tom Brady. I really do.
Same.
How many times are we going to do this? Okay, bet against Tom Brady, lose. It's just, it never ends well.
Bites in the ass, right.
Yeah, it never ends well at all. But, Mahomes is Mahomes. He's the best player on the field, so can he do it? Does he want it? This is a big game for him. Nobody's talking about that. This is the GOAT conversation. Can Mahomes even be in the GOAT conversation?
Right.
Good.
It feels like it slips away. It feels like it slips away from him, right? If Tom Brady wins, because he has 7 Super Bowls, and then at what point, how many Super Bowls does Pat Mahomes have to win, right?
Yeah, if they go and you lose the head-to-head game, and Tom Brady's 43 years old, so it's okay, so say Pat Mahomes wins 8 or 9 Super Bowls, something crazy, and Brady finishes with 7. It'll still be, okay, you have 2 more, but Tom got you head-to-head at 43 years old. You can never catch him, so big time. But I do love The counter to that, if Mahomes wins the Super Bowl, he literally ends Aaron Rodgers' GOAT debate ever. I never want to hear the words Aaron Rodgers is great ever again. Ever.
Yeah, no, I think that effectively puts him, because it kind of feels like Rodgers is with who do you like categorize him with in the pantheon of quarterbacks?
Everyone,
Dan Marino,
but Dan Marino doesn't have a Super Bowl, so that's where
Yeah.
you kind of put Rodgers ahead. I mean, I don't know. Maybe. I mean, John Elway at least got to a bunch of Super Bowls. He did win the 2 on the back end. I don't know. But, again, people overrate. People have Drew Brees that high. I think Drew Brees is trash can. So that's just me.
Yeah.
That's a guy who underperformed his entire career. If he was that good, why does he have as many 7-9 performances or seasons as he does winning seasons after, they won that Super Bowl?
That's a fair point.
He was 31. I do love that statement. Somebody said, in 2010, if I told you Drew Brees and Aaron Rodgers would never make another Super Bowl, Drew Brees was 31, Aaron Rodgers was 28, you would have called me a crackhead. And it's like, well, one down.
Yeah.
How much more does Rodgers have left? They've never been back. So yeah.
The crazy one to me is honestly Aaron Rodgers never getting back. That shocks me. I know it's just because he's so good in the regular season, and I know it comes down to that big game, and it feels like he can't finish. I don't know, man. It's wild to me.
Yeah, I mean, he has 4 straight conference championship game losses, and the last one at home. Yeah. And no one ever blames Aaron. He started to finally get a little bit of that, but
yeah,
it's again. I don't know why we're talking about these overrated ass quarterbacks. I'm sure I'm going to get a ton of heat for that, but just go look at the performances. You can't argue it. Everyone's like, well, it's Tom Brady. It's like, well, Nick Foles has as many NFC Super Bowls and NFC championships as Aaron Rodgers and Drew Brees. Like, so does Rex Grossman, NFC championship games. It's like, or wins. It's, what did you guys do? And the Saints cheated in 2009, and they've never been back. And you see what God has done to them. That's why they lose the way they lose in the playoffs. He smites them. You'll be smited for cheating, my sons. And Green Bay is a bunch of losers. I mean, I don't need to tell you how elite Mike McCarthy is as a head coach. So,
yeah, tell me I know. I've gotten a good taste of that. I go back and forth with my dad about it consistently. But
that's
anyways,
why.
We're not talking about them.
Yeah, that's the only reason Rodgers doesn't win, because, elite head coach over there. But yeah. All right, so what's the line? Line is floating around 3.5, Kansas City. I'm a little surprised by this. I thought it would be a little bit more, right?
Like a 5.5, yeah.
Yeah.
That feels close, and I think it has to be because Fisher's out. I think that's huge. Left tackle not being there. I think that's got to count for a lot.
And maybe the game's in Tampa, so they get a little bit of home field cooking for that. They did say they're pissy. They said they're going to fire the cannon when Tampa Bay scores from the pirate ship. And they're like, It's like, hey, man, tough.
Their stadium.
Yeah. They're also technically the home team, I believe.
The Chiefs?
No, the Buccaneers.
Bucks?
Yeah, but they're wearing white. I like it. They're wearing white again.
Yeah. What was I about to say? I think it's a lot of people aren't talking about, I think Kalichi Osemele, he's been out most of the season too, the left guard. I don't even know who their center is. And then their right guard, I think he's a pretty good player, right?
But he's a backup because what's his name? Duvernay, the Frenchman, has been over there trying to fight the COVID all season as a doctor.
So really the only continuing piece is that center from last year. And that's crazy that they've been that effective offensively. And generally you see a dip in offensive production, right?
Yeah.
When you're missing, all-pro tackle, right tackle.
Yeah, Mitchell Schwartz. So
Osemele is a Pro Bowler when he's healthy. I think Eric Fisher, fringe Pro Bowler.
Just solid. He's been there forever. He's as solid as can be.
Yeah.
So
it's kind of hard because he's the number 1 overall pick, right?
Yeah, he's a little bit of a letdown. But if you look back at that draft, there was a few linemen taken early, and he's the only one still playing. Was it Greg Robinson out of Auburn was taken at like 2 or 3?
Bust.
Yeah, total bust. So I mean, he hasn't been necessarily a number 1 overall pick, but if he's there week in and week out starting for this long, it's like okay. Yeah. It's like, okay, I have a starter that can protect my quarterback most of the time.
Right.
So
yeah, man, it's gonna be a really good game. I'm excited. I would have been happy with Rodgers, Mahomes. I would have been happy with Allen.
Don't speak these blasphemies in this over here on this podcast.
But this is the matchup that probably 90% of fans wanted, and definitely what TV networks want it, or TV. Who's it on ABC?
It is actually. So this is an interesting one. It's supposed to be on NBC, but then they gave it back to CBS because NBC wants to host next year's Super Bowl while they're doing the Winter Olympics. If we have a Winter Olympics next year, in the same month. So yeah, we get the Romo and Nance again, which everyone's gonna love me some Romo.
Oh yeah. I can get down with that.
Yeah, but oh no, Packer. What do you mean? People will want to see Rodgers, Mahomes. The Packer fans are on the conspiracy train, as you would say. Like, oh yeah, the NFL fixed this. It's like, okay, maybe people want to see Tom Brady, but I don't even know if people want to root against Tom Brady anymore because he's out of New England. Now you're just, I'm just impressed.
Yeah, that's kind of where I followed it too. It had like it was starting to. I know LeBron didn't start in Miami, and because I didn't like LeBron being in Miami, didn't like Tom Brady in New England, and he's much more likable now that it's probably because Belichick's so unlikable, right? If you're not, you get what I'm saying?
Yes.
And the system and everyone's kind of shitting on New England. Right
yeah,
now.
Rex Ryan got in that ass. He's like, the Patriot way, or Rex Ryan's like, nobody wants to play for Bill Belichick. Everyone wants to play for Tom Brady. Like all these years, it's not been Belichick.
Yeah, and so this is going to be really big. Like we said, Tom Brady wins it in Tampa. Like there is no discussion who was Belichick's great coach, but there's going to be an asterisk. Like
he's an average ass head. He's an average ass head coach without Tom Brady. Like the numbers say that.
Yeah, I can get behind that. I want to give him another year at least before I kind of just shit on him.
Yeah, who the hell? We can get into quarterback talk because there is a lot of quarterback talk still to be had. Especially with everything that went down Saturday night. Teaser alert.
Craziness.
Teaser alert.
Yeah.
All right. So, are we leaning? What's you know what? We'll save our picks for the end. I like this. Let's.
Okay.
How we got some fun prop bets. That's always fun. What do you like? Heads or tails? We like heads or tails. Even money both ways.
Probably tails.
Oh, he's leaning tails. I saw the coin. I get the Super Bowl coin every year. I didn't see any differentials. I didn't see any extra weight on one side or anything like that. I ran 1,000 simulation tosses, and it actually came up heads. About 3% more of the time. I'm kidding, by the way.
Okay, I was like, jeez.
God knows what. I don't even know what side is heads and what side is tails. One side's got the logo on it, like the Super Bowl logo, and the other side just has the team names and like logo on the. So it's like, at least in the old days, it used to be like clearly obvious what was the head and what was the tails. But now they've kind of switched the way it looks. Because it used to be like the two helmets and then like the Lombardi trophy, and then on the backside would be like the logo. So it's like, okay, clearly the helmet and the Lombardi trophy is the head, and then the logo is the tails. And now it's like, I don't even know. So I always, you say tails never fails. There is something weird. Like the NFC's won 13 out of the last 16 coin tosses. And it's been heads a lot. There's some weird numbers on this.
Interesting.
Yeah, normally the team that wins a toss wins the game too.
Okay.
It's I guess maybe to the defer thing. I don't know what that's going with. I do like the personal funds. Who scores first is an interesting one.
Player or team?
Team. We could do player after that, but team is the interesting one.
Chiefs.
Yeah, that's what I would have said too. They're decent favorites at -130 because Tom Brady's never scored in the first quarter, I don't think, of a Super Bowl. Yeah.
Whoa. That's a crazy stat too.
Yeah, It's either he's never scored a touchdown, and I don't think he scored any point. I don't think they've ever kicked a field goal either in the first quarter. So
interesting.
Yeah,
wow.
They play it slow. That could be a New England thing because Tampa's kind of the opposite these days. Like they come out and like drop one early on you and be like, "Hey, we're here to play."
Right.
So I do like that one. Personal ones. Oh, a national anthem over under 2 minutes.
Who's singing it?
I have no idea. Probably some, I don't know. Probably some local person. That's weird. Normally there's a lot more hype around this. Maybe it's someone who...
Eric Church and Jasmine Sullivan.
Ooh, a duet?
Yeah, over 2 minutes.
That feels like a lock, right? Over 2 minutes?
It has to be with two people.
I don't know. Has she sung? I wonder if she's sung the national anthem before. I need to do bigger digging over here. Oh, and he's
Eric Church, country singer.
Yeah, he's got the guitar going on there. We might get a solo riff over here.
Yeah, I'd take the over.
Put the money on the over, people.
Yeah, That's easy.
Interesting one, Mahomes, over under 327.5 yards.
Man. Gotta go with under.
Under, you like a little low scoring. Are they going to run the ball then? Or is it just going to be like they're hitting,
The only reason is because of the tackles.
Okay, you think it's
The pass rush.
He's
Yeah.
running around for his life. Let's see. Over under 40.5 throws. I take the over on that.
For combined.
No, just Mahomes throwing the ball over 40.5 times.
Yeah, I'll take the over for that.
Pass attempts. I think so. I think he's gonna be throwing it. Let's see. They have interceptions. Tyreek Hill, 91.5 yards is his mark. He got he got like 270, I think, last game.
I mean, he could do that on the first drive.
He could do it on the first play.
Yeah, that's over for me. That's easy.
I like that one.
I might change it. I might change Mahomes over to
over. The more you're thinking about it, I like that.
Yeah.
I'm not keeping track of these. We're just having fun talking. Kelsey has a higher over under 97.5.
Oh shit!
Big mismatch over here. Kelsey, sleeper MVP type guy. I feel like.
Yeah, very sleeper. He could go off. Who's going to be covering him? Really, it'd probably be Devin White, right?
I would think. We saw how well that went for Buffalo last week, putting a linebacker on him.
Yeah.
But Devin White is kind of a savage. I don't know about that. All right. Old man Brady, 296, definitely feels like an over.
Yeah, over. He's going to be throwing the ball over the place.
Even though the Chiefs' run defense is kind of their worst part. I mean, maybe playoff Lenny maybe shows up. We get a little...
There's a prop bet for him.
There has to be. It's
50. I think it's 50.
47.5. That's it.
That's an easy over.
Him or
easy.
Yeah, I mean, unless they're saying they're going to split with him and Ronald Jones, but still.
I think that's an easy over.
Yeah,
to me.
Yeah, one. I mean, if he busts one run, 22, a 23-yard run, which could easily happen if Chiefs guys pass, they go run. And they have it blocked up really well. Yeah, that feels like playoff Lenny. Don't sleep on playoff Lenny. Mike Evans, I'm assuming is he the high receiver? No, Chris Godwin, 71.5. I guess Mike Evans ain't catching yards. He's just catching tugs over here.
Yeah, that's all he cares about.
Antonio Brown's the sleeper. Who the hell is going to cover Antonio Brown on Cleveland? Nobody, right?
Yeah. I don't really know Kansas City's secondary.
It's just not very, as Terrell would say, they're very average.
Yeah.
So.
I listened to that podcast last week about he said I owed him a steak dinner, texted him. I thought that was funny. That was a funny little add-in in the podcast.
He knows.
Anyways. Yeah.
I mean, who's going to cover Gronk either, too? You going to put the honey badger on Gronk? There's about a foot difference between those two.
Even at Gronk's, even if you're saying he's 60% of what he was, like I don't know who's gonna
just body. Hey man, Gronk had the one big pass play in the NFC Championship game, ran a damn tunnel screen to Gronk that he took for like 15, 16 yards.
Yeah, that's all he needed. It's crazy.
Speaking of Gronk, did you hear that story that came out that like during the offseason, like they had to run sprints like virtually and send them in, and Gronk just did them all in one day and wore a bunch of different shirts. And so he just did one day of running and he'd send them in every day so he didn't have to do it anymore. I was like, what a Gronk move.
That's the biggest Gronk move I've ever heard.
And you wonder why he was out of shape when the season started.
Yeah, that's the least surprising thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, I just bought like 7 shirts out there and I was wearing different shirts. I'd run sprints.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, thanks, Gronk. Oh my God. Oh, gotta let's see, what else? Any other random, what's the point total? 56.5. Ooh, that kind of sounds like a medium scoring game. I think they're with you, Matt. I think they feel the D-line might keep Kansas City down a bit. I mean, I'm trying to think. Maybe Kansas City pass rush gets a little jump. I don't know, but Tampa's O-line has been lights out, locked down.
Yeah, it's very solid. Ali Marpet holding it down for the D3 boys.
Oh, he's... Facts over there at left guard. Only thing that's
animal.
Just surprised. Did you see that guy in the Senior Bowl that was from? God, he was
Wisconsin Whitewater.
Yes, that big. Oh my God, that big man right there with the wearing the Schimmel jersey and just like a massive beer gut hanging over himself.
I was listening to. I guess I like listening to the draft talk. I was listening to McShay and Kuiper talk about him. They're saying he was an animal out there.
Oh,
And I don't think he played either, right, this year?
No,
He didn't play.
I don't know what they did at D3. Probably not. But I saw
They're
the
good,
tape.
by the way.
Oh, they're always one of those teams that's winning it. It's them and was it Mountain Union down in D3?
Yeah.
Always winning.
Yep.
But yeah, I saw some tape of him, and oh my God, he was blowing people up, and it was like dudes from LSU, and I think there was a Clemson D lineman in there. He blew up. It was ridiculous. Like, who is this cat? Like, I think he's a center. He's a center, I believe. Probably play a guard in the league. I don't know what his snapping ability is like, but it's like, damn, dude, looks like that's the kind of guy you need in the interior, not these finesse little pansies over here. I want a big ass man, and I want a mean road grader over here.
Sure.
All right, let's get
Especially
to
a guard.
Yes, let's get to the good stuff. All right, who wins the game and who's the MVP?
Chiefs and give me Patrick Mahomes.
All right, that's a very generic bet. Do the Chiefs cover?
Yes.
Okay. Give me, God. Give me the Chiefs, but they don't cover.
Okay.
And I'm going to say Mahomes for MVP just because it's going to get the overvote, which is kind of lame over here. But don't sleep on a skill position guy getting it because it may be a low-scoring game. I kind of like the under in this game.
Yeah, I don't hate the under too. If Chiefs are fully healthy, they could score 30 plus easily.
If they could actually protect on top of it and kind of cut down Tampa's best part. And the thing is, Tampa's defense seems to always force quarterbacks to throw a pick when they're under duress. Like quarterbacks just, I don't know what it is. Their back seven knows where the quarterback is going to dump this ball off the pressure. And Mahomes has been known to do that every once in a while down here the stretch. Just throw a bad pick in there. You just got to avoid the Brady pick. If Tom Brady doesn't turn the ball over, we're going to get this. This thing's going to sweat it out to the wire, and I'm going to have a great time just abusing Terrell the entire time as this team sweats it out. And he cries about it, even though his team already has a Super Bowl. Like, get over yourself, bro. You're just a winner. All right, but other news, stealing the spotlight, we have quarterback carousel, quarterback controversy. Matt Stafford is an LA Ram. Jared Goff is, unfortunately, a Detroit Lion. Tough break for him.
Tough look for Jared Goff, man. Rip to him.
I'm sure his supermodel girlfriend has dumped it. The text was sent the second the Twitter feed came over that he was traded to Detroit.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe him and Blake Griffin could become friends now.
Yeah, someone said Blake needs to be the greeting
at the
greet
gate.
him off the plane.
At the gate. He's got a sign, I feel for you, bro.
Yeah. Hey, tough look, but we're going to get this bread regardless.
I like that. This was kind of weird because it kind of came out of nowhere. But Stafford must have known something because it was on Thursday or Friday. He said, I could see the Rams making, trading for me. Everyone was like, what? Like the Rams, really? And then, it's done the next day. Apparently, he's like BFFs with McVay. Like Stafford.
I heard that in Cabo.
Yeah, they were hanging out in Cabo over there with McVay. McVay's got to take his girlfriend out sometime.
Yeah,
because he never leaves. He had that infamous the infamous clip during the season when it was their bye week, and she's like, it was Sunday. She's like, do you want to do anything else besides this? And he's like, no. And he's just sitting there just watching games.
No.
Yeah, it's like, hey, dude, I think she's trying to send you the hint over there, brother. And he's like, I ain't worried about it. I'm trying to get dubs over here. But yeah, what did they get 2 1s and Stafford. They basically and Goff. They basically gave them an extra one to take on Goff, which is you don't see that often.
Crazy.
Jared Goff they've literally spent 9 first round draft picks to have and then get rid of Jared Goff. That's insane.
That's nuts, man. He must have really pissed off McVay. I've heard, listening just to other podcasts, they've been talking about apparently McVay and Goff, just kind of 2 different guys. McVay's like a get in there at 5 a.m., grind it out, first in, last out guy. I know it's like, it sounds like I'm jerking McVay off, but stuff I've heard and that Jared Goff isn't that guy, which there's nothing wrong with that, right?
I've heard that they have, yes, there was a little head-to-head bumping that Goff's work ethic people were questioning, and his football IQ on top of that. Now, I don't know if it was solely McVay, but I heard that the locker room was good with the move, so that says a lot. But then they came out today and said, stop bashing Goff, like he's a really good guy. They don't like this slander on Goff. And it's like, well, make up your mind, guys. You over here...
We're publicly shitting on him.
Yeah, and McVay, they said McVay's been pretty much done with him. Since the Niners game, he knew he was getting rid of him, where they lost to Nick Mullins over there. He's like, I can't do this anymore. Which is...
Yeah, that's interesting.
And it makes sense. Goff's not his guy. He didn't draft Goff.
Yeah, makes total sense. I think this is a home run. This is a putting your balls on the table trade for sure for the Rams, right?
Yeah, well, they're not... I mean, they literally... So they haven't made a first-round pick since Goff, and they don't have another one till like 2024, I don't think. They haven't... So you're all in right now. Stafford's contract's pretty cheap, relatively speaking. And this is it. No more Stat Patford. Go win some goddamn games, Matt. Like, you've been using this excuse in Detroit all the time. Like, I don't have anything around me. Well, you got the number one defense in football now.
Do you want to hear a crazy stat that I heard about his rushing attack he had? I think when did he get there? 08?
Yes, I know. I think I know this one, but go ahead.
He had 7 100-yard rushers.
Yes, I think 7 games. Yes,
and that is the craziest stat I've ever heard.
And I think 0,000 yards on the season, maybe 1,000-yard rusher on a season.
Yeah, and I think Reggie Bush had like 4 of those 100 yards. I think
sounds about right. As he was an old ass man.
That is crazy. That I could not. I thought that he misspoke. And I was like, there's no way that's possible. And no, it's true. And so, I mean, he's got Cam Akers, Henderson, I think, and then maybe is Malcolm Brown on that team still?
Probably.
The Rams. So he's got dudes in the stable, and he's got good weapons.
Solid.
I wouldn't say it's like
he doesn't have better receivers, that's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I expect. I mean, they're the favorite out of the NFC next season, right?
They're right behind Green Bay. They're third, though. Yeah, they're right there. They're just a little behind Green Bay, and obviously Kansas City's the favorite.
And I would probably take the Rams, to be honest with you, over the Packers.
I would. I mean, Stafford knows how to play the Packers. That's for sure. There's your edge right there. He knows how to play the Packers. I just got to see it to believe it. I like like Matt Stafford. Let me see. He's got to win. No more excuses. I need to see it.
I love Matt Stafford. So
you're a homer.
I'm pretty outspoken about it.
Goddamn Dallas homer over there. I'm sure you wanted him to be a Cowboy too.
I wouldn't have hated that. No.
Yeah, getting rid of Dak over there. And then this trade, what does it do? I do like that it said they're not going to do anything for the Deshaun Watson trade, and Houston is adamant about not trading him, even though they're asking for 2 1s, 2 2s, and 2 defensive starters. There's not a goddamn soul on this planet that is paying that price for Deshaun Watson. He is not that good.
No, I mean, I could see a similar trade for Stafford. Like, that is probably the most they're going to get, right?
There's some other scuttlebutt talking about it, but they're pretty adamant about not trading him. Watson said he ain't they said him and his agent we're not playing for you, and Watson will sit out. And there's no downside to Watson sitting out except maybe losing money, but I don't feel like he's blowing money. He ain't James Harden over here going to the club every night.
Yeah,
so he can take it.
I love the Twitter GMs who all get pissed that, he signed the contract. I was like, well, he also didn't know it's going to be a freaking disaster like it is either. That is a disaster in Houston.
Well, they didn't tell you that they were going to be run by a cult guy down there. They didn't know that the cult was going to take over.
Joel Osteen's down there.
GM of the team chaplain and running the show in the ear of Bob McNair. It's so weird. And I heard about it. I'm sure, God, I have to look back on God knows what podcast I talked about this, but I talked about this I think 2 years ago, or when he first got there, and they did some weird stuff. I heard this weird thing, this guy's in the ear of the owner, and who the hell is this guy? And then you see this. I think it was when they named Bill O'Brien the GM, and it was like, what? Yeah. It's all been downhill from there. They did promise him some things, and they didn't deliver, which were easy things. You don't have to hire who the hell he says. Let him, if he wants to throw a hissy fit about that, then you can tell him no. Screw off. We took your input. You were in on these interviews. This is the direction we're going. And if he wants to throw a hissy fit, then he looks bad. It's okay, they didn't say they're going to pick your guy. Who are you?
Yeah.
So
I don't know, man.
it's
I
bad.
just don't. Yeah, you can tell, like, especially with the coaching hire, like, who was that, first of all? And that kind of shows you no one else wanted it, right?
Yeah, nobody would take. It was literally the guy who said, "I'll take it because I want it." Let's see. He's a 65-year-old coach. He's not even a coordinator. He was the wide receivers coach the infamous year and a half the Kansas City Chiefs went without catching a touchdown at wide receiver. If you remember
that last week.
Yeah, remember those days. So what an elite coach that guy is. He's probably a culture guy. I don't know.
It's a clown show down in Houston, and I don't feel bad for them.
We know that. And hey, and if Watson holds out, that's a 0-16, 1-15 team, no question. When they don't get picked for it. Now,
I'm not saying it's not going to matter either.
Do they even have that pick? They may have that pick next year. Who the hell knows? The Dolphins may still be getting picks from them for Laramie Tunts. Ooh, congrats! You have a decent left tackle. You don't even have the best left tackle in football for two first rounders or whatever they gave up for his ass.
Is he even a top 5 left tackle?
I don't think so. And you're paying him. Maybe.
Yeah.
I like that. Somebody's like, you don't pick up. Oh, God, I forget. It was Dan Patrick. I forget who they were talking. It's like, if this GM calls, you don't pick up the phone because they're going to fleece you. But it's like, well, if Bill O'Brien calls, you drop everything. Like, sorry, honey, I got to go. Bill O'Brien's on the line. We're gonna take advantage of this, right? What does he want? To trade over there. I do think that somebody's going to make a move for him. I heard something interesting on Watson over here that so the Niners, were in the Stafford trade, right?
Yes, I heard that.
And so they thought they were going to get him. Apparently, they couldn't quite settle on how much they wanted for Stafford. So they said, all right, we're going to drop everything. Like, we're going to reset. We're going to reconvene Monday with the deal. And the Rams just swooped in and took them, and the Niners were like, what the hell? They didn't call the Niners. They didn't even, let them know, like, hey, this is the offer we got from LA. It was just like, deal done. So apparently, Kyle Shanahan is smitten with another quarterback, and we all know what quarterback he's smitten with. He has a man
Cousins.
He has a man crush on the guy Kirk Cousins, and I did see an interesting thing. There's only one way. Minnesota's probably not going to trade him. That's just not our move. There is a way that they trade him. I heard this one. It's really interesting, and I think it works. What do you think about this 4-way trade? You don't see these much. This is the NBA. This is an NBA type trade right here.
Okay.
You send Kirk Cousins to the Niners. The Niners send a first-round pick in Jimmy Garoppolo to the Vikings. The Vikings send Jimmy Garoppolo to the New England Patriots, who send a first-round pick for Jimmy Garoppolo. The Vikings send their 2 added ones and their first-round pick and a third next year for Deshaun Watson. So 3 ones and a 3 for Deshaun Watson.
That was four-dimension chess, underwater chess right there.
I know, right? So it solves a lot of things for a lot of teams.
Yeah. Will the NFL, can the NFL approve that, or is that just something like they can just do?
I feel like it's just something they can do. I don't understand.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I feel like it would all have to be agreed in before. Maybe like each trade has to be individual, but it'd all be agreed for, beforehand. It's like basically Minnesota needs to be the ringleader over here with the 3 different trades with the 3 other teams working it. And I could see New England trading for Jimmy G.
Yeah. Just wanting him back.
Belichick doesn't love any of the quarterbacks taken at whatever he's drafting at. I think it's like 11 or something like that. He doesn't love any of those quarterbacks. Jimmy G, the Vikings can't roll with Jimmy G. He's never healthy. Cousins at least never hurt. So, and then, Cousins produces if you have an offensive line. The Niners want a quarterback that they think they can win with. And Deshaun Watson has the same numbers as Cousins basically, and he makes up for our deficiency of offensive line because he can move. And it's not like he doesn't have weapons over there. I don't hate it. I'm okay with giving up three ones and a third or a second for Watson, and like they just make a run in it. The problem is the defense. Is the defense ever going to be good?
It's a stacked offense, though, for y'all.
It is a stacked.
Thielen, Justin Jefferson.
Rudolph's gone. Yeah, you got Cook. Oh my God, think about like running. You could run like a 3-way option, like motion Jefferson across the middle, read with Jefferson, or read with Cook, and then run option with Cook and Jefferson and Watson. Oh my God.
Yeah.
And if
That's
not,
nice.
or like run an RPO on top of it, and the linemen don't get downfield, and you throw one over the top to Thielen. Oh my God! There's so many possibilities over here.
Do you think that's going to happen?
No, absolutely not. Minnesota is as lame as can be with Mike Zimmer and Rick Spielman. Rick Spielman's going to take our first round pick. Actually, we might trade Cousins to the Niners, and then we'll trade those two number ones we have at they're 12 and 14 or whatever, and we'll move back into the 20s because we need to acquire a couple second round picks. First round picks aren't any good. We need second and sixth round picks if you're the Vikings. That's where the real talent is, Matt. Didn't you know this?
Yeah, obviously the Rams have clearly proven that, right?
No,
they don't value first round picks at all.
Yeah, clearly you just need to draft a bunch of 6th-round guys. Oh wait, we do. That's all we do, and they're all trash, and they never commit. Oh cool, you hit on 2 6th-round guys. Well, when you've made 18 6th or 7th-round picks in the last 2 drafts, I would hope 2 of them could freaking play.
Yeah. Here's the good thing about the Rams, if you think about it. Tyler Higbee, I think he was a 2nd-round pick, right? Mm-hmm. Cooper Kupp, 3rd.
Way later than that. I think it was a 5th or 6th. Yeah.
Cam Akers, 2nd-round pick.
Mm-hmm.
All their good players they have drafted were not obviously not in the first round at all, but they hit on their second through,
they do okay.
The ass end of the draft. I mean, running back's kind of easy now, right? You can get a good running back kind of anywhere.
There is zero reason to sign a running back or a wide receiver or draft one super high.
Yeah, no, there's no reason now. Especially, what I think is going to happen? I think the wide receiver position's getting a little saturated, right? I mean, it feels like every single season there's...
It's deep. It's another deep class. I don't know if it's as top heavy. Last year's... So 2 years ago was a deep class. It was decent. This year's class was super top heavy and deep. And now the class coming up is going to be deep, not as top heavy. There's a couple of guys, there's a lot of question marks on the top end guys over there, but it could be. Yeah, receivers are going to start, they're going to have to stop bitching about getting the ball now all of a sudden. You're going to be 3 or 4 receivers deep everywhere.
Contracts are going to get a little smaller too, I think, for,
Yeah.
Right?
There's
they have to be.
Yeah, there's no reason to sign a guy. Okay, I'll just draft one.
You can just go get a guy.
I'll just draft one.
That's an interesting power play, or not a power play. That's an interesting kind of shift I feel like I've seen the past couple of years. It's you can just get a dude Michael Gallup for the Cowboys. He was a 3rd-round pick. Yeah. And he's no 1,000-yard receiver.
Yep. No problem. And it's really interesting, and it goes back to everyone's playing 7-on-7 now. All these kids, nobody grows up wanting to be a running back anymore. That used to be the hotness, running back. Now everyone wants to be a quarterback and receiver, and obviously it's damn near impossible to play quarterback at a level good enough to win in the NFL. So you're always going to be needs for quarterbacks, but everyone grows up playing wide receiver and playing 7-on-7. These cats are good. Coming out, they're good to go, and there's 1,000 of them.
It's wild. I think there's just going to be this huge shift where, like I just said, there's no reason to. I mean, unless you just want to, you're dying to take a guy in the top 10. There's going to be so many guys in the draft that are elite. Yeah. It's
basically running backs, but there's more. You can at least you can play more of them at the same time. I can throw 3 wide receivers out there, no problem. And it's there's going to be 3 number 1. People are going to be running around with 3 number 1 elite receivers, and it's okay, it's going to make fantasy a bitch and a half.
You got guys you're gonna end up wide receiving cores like the Bucks.
Yeah, easily.
It was just 3 elite guys. Chris Godwin's a 1 on most.
He's at least
teams.
He's solid, and
he's a very top tier 2, a low tier 1,
and they have a perfect complement. They have a burner. They have a over the top big body guy, Mike Evans, go get down the field jump ball guy. They have Chris Godwin, who runs deep ends and middle of the field stuff, and then you have Antonio Brown, who's in the slot, literally unstoppable. Antonio Brown in the slot is uncoverable.
Yeah. Yep. And I think now you're kind of seeing also tight ends are very valuable again. They've always been pretty valuable, but you get a good tight end in the draft. Who's kind of it's Mike Pitts, right?
Oh yeah, Pitts over there. Oh God.
And he's kind of and who's behind him, tight ends, right? You don't know, right?
Yeah, you don't know. You don't know at all. Probably somebody from Iowa. Iowa's always putting out 6 dudes.
Yeah. Iowa or pretty much Iowa. And so I mean, if you get a good tight end like Mike Pitts, whoever, I know San Francisco's apparently thinking about picking him. That would be insane
with Kittle. Yeah, you could just run 2 tight set with the running game that they have behind it. Why not?
Debo Samuel and Brandon Ayuk at wide receiver.
There you go. You run those 2 out there, put 2 tight ends, and then the backfield that you got. Oh, good luck.
That?
Good luck.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It's crazy. I'm really excited about this draft, and all this quarterback trading is nuts too.
Right? So I was gonna hit you with this one because I hit Terrell with it last week. So Adam Schefter said over under 18 quarterback changes in the NFL, which is insane, unheard of. You had no chance. And he said I'd bet the over, and I was like, Jesus, Shefty. Well, we're good. 2 down. 16 to go.
Yeah. Yeah, Stafford or Lions, Rams.
Yeah, I mean,
probably going to go ahead and say the Texans.
That's 2 teams right there because someone's going to acquire him.
Miami, possibly.
Maybe, who knows? The Jets. I mean, Jacksonville for sure. New Orleans. It's yeah. I mean, there's going to be 5. They're thinking 5 guys taken in the first round this year at quarterback.
Yeah,
which is
and who's kind of safe? Patriots.
Another one.
Jeez, yeah, it feels like. I don't know what's going on with the Cowboys.
Yeah, right. Are they going to re-sign? I would lean that they're going to tag Dak again, which is probably a safe bet.
Yeah,
but
he should be happy with that. That's going to be like $48 million or something.
Yeah, it's going to be something ridiculous.
Yeah.
Depending on
guaranteed.
the guaranteed, depending on the cap. But I'm okay with not committing to Dak because who the hell knows? His ankle could be toast. Who the hell knows?
Yeah, I've had this argument with Bishop, and you've been in the Xbox party with me. It's. Like, I don't know if he's going to be the same guy. Anyways.
Especially for a guy who relies so much on it. Like, Dak's game is his movement in the... Like, not necessarily... Like, he can run. He's a big, thick boy, so he gets those dirty yards that you need. But it's just his movement in the pocket. Like, he can roll out and make a play, especially with those receivers downfield. Somebody breaks open while he's moving, extending the play. And just... You don't necessarily know with an ankle. Like, it's a weird spot. Yeah. It was a clean break, they said.
Screws in a plate, right?
Yeah, but it wasn't no ligament tears or anything like that, so the bone heals pretty easily. It's just like, what's your mobility? Like, who knows if you ever get that flexibility back in that ankle? My ankle still pops, and I didn't even, and that's just being, booted up for 6 months or whatever I was.
Yeah, I mean, I screwed up my ankle when I was 15 years old, and my right ankle, or my left ankle is still more flexible than my right one.
Yeah,
and that was 11 years ago.
Yeah, you
never know.
You just never know. Hopefully, they got better medicine than we get.
Modern medicine.
They get the special medicine. We're just the peasants over here.
What do you think about the Raiders trading Derek Carr?
I could see it.
That wouldn't surprise me.
No, I don't know how much Gruden likes Derek Carr. And Gruden's there forever, so he needs himself a quarterback.
Yeah, and I just don't. Who would want him?
Nobody. I don't know. Somebody who's got a gap year. I don't know who's got a gap year going.
You don't think he's a solid starter for somebody else?
You can't. So Derek Carr's probably the 3rd or 4th best quarterback in every division. I mean, I could see. Okay, I'll give you one. Here's the Bear. How about the Bears?
Yeah, I think that would be good for them.
There you go. There's somebody who can throw the football.
Yeah, Stafford's out. Yeah, he'd be 3, right? So it'd be Rodgers, if Cousins is still there, and then him, and then Goff is not
there.
No.
Hey, I'd love to see that matchup. We could argue that 1/3 or 4th. Hey, Goff could come back, man. Goff was good in the playoffs.
Yeah, Goff was. Yeah, and he's got something to prove now.
True. So there you go. There's a Derek Carr spot for you. But are the Bears going to give him another 1st-round pick? Problem is all these damn quarterbacks demand a 1st-round pick. Everyone demands, I want a 1, I want a 1. It's like, how many 1s can we give up over here?
I don't know if he's worth the 1st. I know he's a starter.
I think that's just the going rate. When you're getting Stafford, you're getting 2 1s for Stafford over here. Nobody gives a shit about them taking on Goff or anything like that because Goff's a competent starter too. Like you really aren't going to be terrible with Goff at your quarterback next year if you're the Lions.
Yeah.
So
he's not bad to turn the ball over. Yeah.
You'll win games. You'll be slightly better maybe.
Right.
If not, you're not going to be you're not going to be the Jags this year at 1-15, which is hilarious. I do love that. You see that when they won week 1 and then lost 15 straight, and they tweeted after week 1, 1-0, we're not satisfied.
We noticed you weren't satisfied. That's why you lost 15.
You were not satisfied. You needed to make sure you're only satisfied with Trevor Lawrence.
Crazy, nuts, man.
Yeah, that's wild. All right, so I think that's gonna do it for us this week. Excited, everyone. Check out the big game. We're ready. Get your bets in. Don't listen to anything we said. Just probably bet against everything we said. That's the way the track record works on this thing. But
good call.
Yeah, good having you back, Matt, and we'll see you all next week.